We just got this news, which just across the Bloomberg terminal, which is that you are the preferred bidder for the Cassia iron ore mine in Odisha. Tell me, you've got a premium of 118.1% for this mine. It would seem that on the face of it, that you're overpaying. How do you respond?
Yeah, good morning. We feel that we are not overpaid. That's the right price today. And we have our own economics because we are located at about 240 kilometers from these mines. And we are going to lay a pipeline, that is slurry pipeline. And this will be over in next 2 years' time. And then, we can save at least Indian rupees 1,200 to 1,500 rupees a ton, which is equivalent to about $22 a ton in terms of freight. So there is a great amount of safety what we have considered in building this particular mine. So it depends upon the geography, it depends upon the percentage of Fe contents, alumina contents, and the kind of ore we have. We are the largest steel producer in the state of Odisha, which is the eastern state, and this is a very, very rich mineral state. And we wanted to secure the raw materials for our company. And that's why we have reached to this level of 118.1. And I think we'll be in a position to manage very well.
Iron ore has really seen a massive fall since the highs that we saw on the 13th of May of this year. We're down something like 45% in iron ore prices. How has that affected your business? It must be improving your margins, to say the least.
You see, when we discuss the international iron ore prices versus domestic Indian iron ore prices, because India is never importing any iron ore. India is having more than 30 billion ton of iron ore available in the country. So we are fully secure for another 50 to 70 years. There is no problem. So now the question is that the international price is going up to $220 or $230 a ton. This was really highly abnormal. And we're also wondering that how China is buying at this price, which is going to increase their overall cost of production. And now the corrections are already taking place. I think government of China has decided not to melt too much of iron ore or not to use it in the blast furnaces and to import more and more semis. And this is what Chinese mills are doing nowadays. So we are getting more and more inquiries for billets, blooms, pig iron and HBI, DRI from China, and not finished steel. So this is a good sign. I think China want to reduce their CO2 footprint in total. And they're also facing some problem in terms of coking coal prices. The coking coal prices have gone up more than $420, $430 a ton, which is highly abnormal price as of now. Whereas Australia is still selling at about $280 to $300 a ton. And if you see the difference is about $100, $120 is again putting pressure on the Chinese mills. So they are unable to supply material in comparison of Indian mills and Ukrainian mills.
Vidya, with China cutting its demand for steel, how much steel can India export?
We can do about 15 million ton. This year we are going to touch 15 million ton. That will be about 2 lakh crore Indian rupees, which is equivalent to close to $25 billion of exports. And next year we all are planning that we'll be doing about 20 million ton exports from out of India, which is going to be a very significant quantity. And Iran is under sanctions, so Iran cannot export. Ukraine is facing troubles in terms of geopolitical as well as Black Sea problems, very well. And the shipping is a big issue. So I think India stands a good chance to reach to 20 million ton of exports in the next year.
Vidya, I want to take a look at your debt. Jindal Steel has been aggressively cutting its debt in the past year, but that's mainly by selling your non-core businesses. Are there other means that you can do to get to zero debt?
You see, we are already on the move to make company a net debt-free company. We were at a level of about $6 billion of debt in 2016 and 2017, but we brought it down to now $1.5 billion. And hopefully this will be less than $1 billion. So in Indian rupees, we say 7,500 crores Indian rupees. So hopefully by March 2022, we'll be less than $1 billion debt. But when we see the total debt net free, that means the overall assets and the liquidity ratio. And when we calculate with the current ratio, then we find that we'll be a net debt free company by 2022, mid of 2022.
Very quickly, the Indian Steel Minister was recently meeting with companies like yourself on ways to kind of reduce costs here and make Indian steel more competitive. What were the measures you discussed, and what are you likely to hear from the government? What are you actually going to be doing with regards to this?
Yeah, I was in this meeting, and Honorable Minister has emphasized on coal gasification. So first of all, we must do the coal gasification where we can have 60% hydrogen and 30% carbon monoxide, and balances other gases like nitrogen and some more gases. So this means we can, something is better than nothing. If you burn the coal directly into the furnaces or to produce DRI or sponge iron through directly burning of coal into rotary kilns, so that is not environmental friendly. But if we are doing coal bed methane, underground coal gasification, or above the surface coal gasification in a very, very closed atmosphere where we can recover sulfur, then it is as good as a clean and green hydrogen. So 60% of hydrogen with 30% of carbon monoxide is a good combination for the DRI plants. So in the world, still the 100% hydrogen plants are yet to come. But by the time, the minister has also emphasized that if you can use hydrogen in terms of syngas, that is synthesis gas, with 60% hydrogen and 30% carbon monoxide in it, then this will be a very path-breaking technology. Jindal is the only company in the world, Jindal Steel and Power, is the only company in the world who has tried this particular route. And we are the only company in the world who is producing DRI through the coal gas that is called syngas. The other major factor is how to reduce the dependence on coking coal. That means we have to get some more blend of the coals from the rest of the world so that we can reduce the cost. So today, the blend of the coal is coming at about $380 a ton.
Right.
And our aim will bring it down to $280 a ton. So that was the main focus.